Test. There we go.
Okay, I hear you.
Yep, I hear your filled up ass mouth.
Hell yeah, gotta get that puppy corn in.
I got some chocolate or pretzels with chocolate inside.
Ooh. Now it's a wine and popcorn kind of night.
Mm-hmm. All right. Got a lot to talk about, so let's just get to it. We're late.
Late these nuts.
Whoop. Back.
Back to the lab again.
Hello and welcome to the Blu-rays podcast, episode number 240.
10 more to go and we're at 250.
It's crazy. I sound like I ate some stuff because I did, and David's gonna sound the same thing because he did too.
Hell yeah.
Ow! Fuck! Oh, God damn it, cat.
Cat attack.
Yeah, he just tried to claw up and just fucked off. All right.
Yeah, they do that.
It's one of those nights. This is our video game podcast. We go live usually every Tuesday on youtube.com/@debunked. We were ready to go. There's some juice butthole there for you. We were ready to go, and then David got hit with a swift old power go bye-bye moment.
Yeah, we found out what happened. The power company actually called everyone and be like, yeah, no, an animal basically hit the line, and that's what caused it. Because it was funny, I thought it was a transformer that blew, because I distinctly heard like a big pop, and then fucking everything just went dead. I'm like, oh fuck, all right. And then it came back very briefly, but then immediately died back out again. And yeah, today we got up a call saying, yeah, a small animal got into the wires and just fucking took him down. I'm like, oh, that poor animal.
I'm sure like a raccoon too. That thing is dead as hell. Anyway, you're back. Fuck that raccoon. Internet's here, baby.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. So we do this. We also do a thing called The Game's Gone By. That's kind of gonna get revamped again. Live streams no longer, and so we do have a special reason to. With that said, we will be recording our episode with Kells. Shout out to Kells. We'll let you know, but we're waiting on our boy Neo to finish up there. He's making his way through there, and since we're kind of at a re-upload pace, there's no rush for us, so we're going. But Persona 5 Royal will be recorded soon.
Trademark.
Yes. And I don't think there's anything else to talk about. David, we do have a lot to talk about, actually. So, I'm going to ask, how have you been?
Not too bad. A lot of explosive shit happening as of late in the world of entertainment.
This is true. Has anything been up with you, though?
With me, though, I mean, been adding to the collection a little bit.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
With me, no, nothing like tremendous.
Okay. I want to talk about this Nier concert, dude. So,
I read the spoilers of the story that was revealed.
yeah. So, if you've been following along with the last couple weeks, finished Nier Replicant, and I was like, yeah, let me go look at the subreddit there.
Congrats on the platinum, my guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say on that on the what we play part, I got done with it. That was the last thing I needed was to do the speed run one, which is 15 hours, which is like pretty generous. It's like you can get that on a regular playthrough if you're not getting all the side quests and you're just kind of just breezing about, not really meandering too much. I was hustling my ass off. I was like, all right, I gotta fucking do this. I beat the game in like 6 or 7 hours. And you have 15.
It's not terrible.
Yeah. So that was still like me meandering just a tiny little bit, but I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Maybe I'll go back one day and get the platinum.
That, you know what?
Extra life or something.
It's it'd probably be a good extra life one for you, dude.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you have everything else, it's really just a breeze. Honestly, it's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna mash. And granted, there are some times that things are tougher, but play on easy and then just actually use your strength drops and stuff like that, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
Juice, you are invading personal space. Sorry, buddy. Let's see. Whoop. So got that. So decided to go to the Near concert. Right, drove 12 hours out there. Saw some family, which is cool. But I had to tell like a lot of people. Shout out to Kyle too. Kyle offered to let me and the girlfriend stay over, but I was like, yeah, we're out. Like we're like, all right, show up, back out. So it was really fast and furious with that. But anyway, let's talk about this concert. So first off, I knew merch lines were gonna be ridiculous. Near merch lines is gonna be fucking nuts. And so what they did here, which I've never seen done before at any concert, they had an early merch booth. They opened an early merch booth outside the venue 4 hours prior to showtime. Now you might be asking, how widely advertised was this?
Yeah.
Not public. Like you could look it up, and then they sent an email out the morning of, apparently. So in my head, I'm like, all right, well, first off, I'm looking at the subreddit. That's how I learned. And everyone's like, all right, well, I was going to show up there like early, but I guess I'll show up at 2:30 for a 4 o'clock early booth. I'm like, oh, fuck. Because I'm already like hauling from like a town. I was not in LA or that morning. I was in a town outside of there with some family. Drove into LA, which was about an hour and a half. Then the girlfriend and I met up with a buddy of mine. We all went to City Walks to go do the shops there, the Simpsons store, the Harry Potter store, all that stuff, which is like 20 to 40 minutes out depending on traffic. So we're doing that, and then we lost track of time. So I'm like, fuck, all right, we're leaving like at around like 2:30ish. So I'm like, I'm gonna get there around 3:10, and I was already seeing people saying like we're lining up at 2:30. I'm like, all right, fuck, all right, whatever. So the girlfriend was driving, and I was like, just drop me off here. I'm gonna go in there and just find some parking because she's cool with that. She's like, yeah. So I do there. I hustle my ass over, and I see a line of like 25 people. I'm like, all right, that's fine. No, that was the gap line, because they had to gap out the line from the back part because there was more. So I was probably like close to 100 person in line for a merch booth about 45 minutes before before the early merch booth.
Fucking Christ.
and yeah. I was like worrying a little bit. Shout out to Cal's in the chat, Beanie Boys, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was a little worried, but then me and some of the you know, when you're in a line for 45 minutes and you're with people that you know like of interest, right? Like if it's a band or something, you're gonna have conversation with people. So yeah, I was talking to some people. And one guy's like, yeah, I'm just here to scalp. Just kidding, everyone. I swear, I'm just kidding. I hate scalpers. Like,
Fucking beat that man on site.
And well, I mean, that was a genuine worry though for a second, because it was you didn't need a ticket to get to the merch booth. You could have just like, if you did, because it was a sold out show and it was outside, could have went up and bought whatever. But I mean, you saw so many just like near cosplays and stuff that you knew it was for the fans. But I was like, fuck, I want some certain stuff there. Granted, most of it was available on the online shop, but I mean, it's also cheaper here because there's no shipping. Shout out to Square Enix for like $20 shipping, right?
Yeah, fucking ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. So I was like, but then we thought, like, you know what? If they had the rationale to be like, hey, let's put a merch booth outside for 4 hours ahead of time, you know they're gonna be like, yeah, there's people are gonna buy the fuck out of this stuff.
Yeah,
fair, because yeah, even being like 90 to 100 in line, everything was still available. But granted, it did sell out. Everything sold out. I heard about like 5:30ish, things were pretty much selling out, and then during the intermission of the show, me and the girlfriend wanted to stretch our legs a little bit and walked around, and they were telling people because there was like people that obviously showed up on time for the show and like fuck we didn't have time for merch. They like, literally just ran out and security bag. First, no running. Second, only shirts in small and medium left. Nothing else. Don't even try. Nothing else. So yeah, things were crazy for the merch stuff. David, you didn't miss anything exclusive wise that you would have wanted. It was all the exclusive merch was the stuff that you would have wanted if you were there. I do have some of it. I'm gonna break the mold of our podcast. I'm gonna go first and show off what I got because there's a lot of is all that. So I'll show off the shirt. There you go. You got yourself the Near. It's pretty much the same exact as the art, just in black and white.
It's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Got the Near thing in the back. I did get the clear poster of it, so it's like a see-through poster. Obviously, you could like see there's like the light behind it. You can see, and that's the actual art of the show. If you go out there on their Instagram, there you go.
Mhm.
So it's the same thing that's on the shirt, but just the actual thing on there. They had acrylic of this for like $40, but it was too small, and I'm like, I want the poster instead. Um, let's see what else do I want to show off on there. I was like, all right, this is the one that I want for sure. Now I didn't realize how many of these there are, so I calculated out. I'm going to spend like another $200 to catch up my collection of this, which I'm going to have. I got the Blu-ray of the 2022 event, the 2022 fan event.
Mm.
And there's like 3 or 4 other Blu-ray sets of just near stuff. So that's now an issue. So we'll deal with that eventually. We got that. I was, you know what? These things are expensive as shit, and I was like, I don't want it. But when I got to there, I was like, fuck it, I want it. So I got myself my good boy plush. Way too
Hell
expensive.
yeah.
Way too expensive. Not it's there, but a lot more expensive if I ever bought online with the shipping.
More than 30?
Yeah,
Oh.
55.
Oh.
But look at him though.
I mean, he's fucking cute, but
He's
like,
a good
oh.
boy. Yeah, they had a Kaine, Nier, and Emil plush. Definitely wanted the Kaine as well, but I'm like, no, I'm not. I refuse to spend 110 on plushies just for those two. They better be the best plushes of all time, and they better be like big. So I was like, I'll get the one. The Emil though, I want to go with the Emil plush. That's fine. That's fine. So, my girlfriend is a bad influence in the best way though. So I'm like there, and I was like originally I was like I want the vinyl, and then I'm like, because it was cool the way they had it all separate. Like here's all 4 of the vinyls, $30 each, or you buy the box set, which is $100, $110. You save yourself the money. I'm like, but then I look online. I'm like, it's available online. That's fine. But I go up there and I'm like, that looks really good right now. I'll buy it eventually. And she looks at me, she's like, just get it now. You'll save $20. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I did buy the Nier Replicant 10 plus 1 years.
It's good fucking music.
Dude, it's so good. I did buy some more stuff, which is, I did have to impulse buy something online because I was like, yeah, I wish I got that when I was there. Did not, I was like, I was talking myself out of it because this was a lot of money. I spent a lot of fucking money. But also, it's Nier. All right. We got the merch out of the way. I got other stuff I'll talk about here later, but for now, that's the Nier merch. Okay. Let's talk about the experience, David. So, I definitely got worried because we rolled up there a little bit later than expected. Because we went out we were with her family in LA, went for some dinner, and then we kind of got a little lazy because we were tired. And then we're like, oh fuck, we should take off. Found cheap enough parking, which is good. Event parking was $40. I found $10 parking, like about a block or so away. Fine. But we get there and there's huge lines just waiting to get through security. We get away to go. There's some lines all around the side. Whatever. We get through. Some people are dressed in nice clothes. We dress nice. Some people are in full on cosplay. Some people are just straight up in gamer shirts. It's a cool crowd. I'm fine with that. That's cool. I'm like, hey, got everyone out doing their own thing. Cool.
Yeah.
Man, dude. So, I didn't realize, right? Like I always heard like the stage play had new content, right? I didn't realize because I the last concerts did not really have content. Like there were some maybe minor like short story, just extremely non-consequential stuff. In fact, some of them were just straight up just replays of the entire like series, like kind of like a montage. This was sort of like that, but holy fuck. It like you've read what it was. It is a story. It is like this thing has like consequences, and now
yeah, it's after ending E.
Yeah, it is. It is a spoilers, but like I mean, it's called the end of Data, so you have to know something's gonna happen. But yeah, like it is of consequence, which is wild. Like I thought like okay, they'll be like he just described his new episode. I don't know what the fuck that means. Like are they just gonna have like, go a little romp? They went on a little romp, all right. It was a romp, but damn dude, like it hits different. It hits so different when you're in there, dude. Like it is like First off, shout outs to orchestras. No one's standing up. It's great. You sit down the
Yeah.
entire time. I'm loving it.
Fucking wonderful.
It's so good, dude. I found myself like almost drifting away to like sleep just because how peaceful something was, and then all of a sudden just other just crashing. Just I'm like, oh fuck. But the way let me describe it the way it does it in case anyone, because there still are tickets around. So shout outs to Atlanta, and I forget where else, but there are some more tickets out there. Tonight is Dallas's concert.
Man,
So-
if only they had done Boston. I could swing Boston, but
That's fair. And dude, you never will. I get it because it is a far cry to fly all the way out to fucking like Atlanta. But David, it is something you would fucking cherish. Like it is an experience that you would fucking like hold on to. It's so cool. Like the way you read it, because I'm assuming you read like the Reddit thread or something like that, right?
yeah,
That's cool and all.
it's not the same.
It does not hit. In fact, you can read that, and there is a audio, like someone recorded the audio for their phone online, and like a bootleg, right? Again, you could listen to it. It's amazing. You can listen to it and you can read along. It does not hit the same as when you're in this orchestral theater and like screens are playing, and then you hear like you read like, oh, and then we walked into a forest, and you see like the screens start like going to spots. And I've been playing this game so much fucking goddamn, like I am stuck in this loop of near, having put 130 hours into this fucking game just to get the platinum now. And you just see like that, and you see like glimpses of things, of like that things that you know, and like the text on, you're like reading the text alongside of it, and you're like, oh fuck. And like it does that near thing where it's like it doesn't hit you sometimes until like you have to like analyze that shit to like really like, oh fuck, that's happening right now. But like there's I won't, how do I describe it? 'Cause I don't want to spoil it. This deserves to go into like the near retrospective that we'll do. I definitely don't want to spoil it, but I also do want to talk to you, and you have been spoiled by it.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's if you do not want near end of data spoilers, I will have Jack Frost sitting behind me. The second he is not there, we're off the spoilers. Audio people, I'm sorry.
Audio people presume to skip at least 5 minutes ahead.
Yes. And you know what? I'll put a timer on. Timer on. Let's see. Give myself a 5-minute timer. And exactly 5 minutes from when I say go. If I say keep going, add another 5. Okay, starting now. Okay. So, what did you presume when you read new content? Because I did not expect what the fuck we were getting, even though, like, I guess in hindsight, yeah, sure.
It's one of those things that, considering how much they've been really adding a lot of additional lore stuff when it comes to even just like PC cases and other merchandise as of late, and knowing that, because I had, obviously we got the news the other day of near what the fuck was it called?
Reincarnation.
Reincarnation shutting down. I'm like, okay, there's bound to be starting to get more stuff combining the worlds together. So I figured it had something to do with, like, okay, Automata is so far in the future that it's like in the same world, but it's not directly connected in any way. I figured there would have been something to kind of loop it all back around, but I didn't expect to the extent that they kind of did.
This was like the most tied in you can tie this near Replicant and Automata. This is while they are definitely prequel to each other, it's in very loose terms. You only have a couple characters crossover. You only have the vague world and some descriptions. Like it's enough for sure. But this one was the most like pounding like each other, like, hey, we are straight up just like, this is like the most direct sequel. Like, it's like going from like Halo 1 to Halo 2, right? Like here's everything just right there again. And it was interesting having the two characters that you just care so much about just really go through this journey that you've been through, right? Like it's like you're just reimagining this whole journey again. Um, and man, like the social, like the big cues that hit. Have you listened to it yet? Yeah, I'm assuming you haven't listened to it actually.
No, I haven't listened.
There's a bootleg which you should at this point.
All
Um,
right.
but there's like just musical moments that you just know are gonna hit. And I think the one that stands out a lot is the mermaid, which is so wild.
Hmm.
But like you just know like it's like it does not say it as directly as like any other series would say it. You know, like every series would be like, and then we came across a shade that was in the shape of a giant monster or like right. It's like oh, there's a colossi that's huge and monstrous, and you're thinking like or something like that, and you're like oh, and then like they sang a song, and you're like. And then like you just like you're just it's something wild because like your eyes are closed just imagining all this because you just know how it would look on screen, you know, like you know exactly the way it would. You're never gonna see it, but you know exactly how it would look.
Yeah.
And it's something, dude. And then man, like you could definitely hear people getting choked up at certain parts where it's just like you just know it. I think things are just really, and then like it just so surreal. And then you hear just like 9S and 2B just drop everyone like, and then we just were flooded with memories. Uh, you know, uh, like they said, there's Yona, the Red Dragon,
Yeah.
this that. I'm like, oh, dude, that's fucking wild. Like that again. It's weird that it's like we're so far into this franchise. And it's really connecting, and I don't know if you played more of Near Reincarnation.
I haven't played much of it. No.
Yes, I've been now that I'm now done with the one game, I can focus a little more on the other one now. I've been putting some more time into Reincarnation. I've been hearing that by the end where we're at, right? Like if you're caught up to it, everything is crossed over. Like it is the most like I'm hearing it's like the you know how I was saying a little while ago how I was like when are we gonna get like a mashup of all this shit? Apparently that's that. Um, so it's cool that like everything's almost. Oh no, visual people don't look. Uh, it's crazy that we're like at this point now with this franchise, but it's like I don't know. It's so hard for words. Just like it's just incredible the way they killed it, dude. They did so fucking well in person. Like the story just ran through. Um, the voiceovers were great. The scene was great. The musical swelling at certain moments. The visuals, like right out the gate, you're just getting. The visuals are kind of like a lot of it was like the Windows Movie Maker visuals, you know, or
Yeah.
Windows Media Player. But then you like the beginning intro was like straight up just cutscene stuff. It was like just a mash of all the moments that 9S and 2B had together. Um. All right. Audio listeners there. Hey, give us about. I was talking about the experience. Give us 5 minutes to talk about lore now. So 5 more minutes.
Hell yeah.
All right. So this is the end of
Yeah.
of that. Like end of data is the most definitive end of things for Automata.
Yeah. There's no more going back.
Right. And to spoil it for you, I do know that Reincarnation has also definitively end Automata, but this was the most
Yes.
personal way of ending Automata, right?
Yeah, I have some vague ideas of what happens in Reincarnation, if only because while scrolling through a Reddit thread talking about the concert, I saw some people getting into a slap fight over the canonicity of Reincarnation, to which I'm like, y'all fucking dumb. Yoko Taro gives it his blessing, therefore, of course it's canon. Multiple timelines are a major part of this fucking franchise. What do you not understand?
Right. I did see a comment, which was a YouTube comment, but the guy took back eventually, which is fine. He did say, "I don't understand replicants because like doesn't this happen and this and it's like oh well it's explained in this is like I only take the game lore as canon." And someone had to be
You
like,
can't do that.
I was like, all right, hold on. And then he did after like 2 or 3 comments like, all right, that's fair, cool, all right. So I'm like, cool, we got him. But I'm like, you're missing they're missing the majority of it when it comes to that.
Yoko Taro's fucking insane. Literally, he is the only creator I know who's like, nah, fucking everything's canon. If my story is gonna be involved, it's part of it. The only thing, ironically, that is technically not canon is Drakengard 2. Otherwise than that, literally everything else with Drakengard or Nier on the name is canon in some way, shape, or form.
Right. Which technically Dragon Guard 2 is canon. It's just something that's 0%
It's its
followed.
own thing.
Right. But yeah, no, he you can get like Automata, you get wait, let's for canon wise. David, what do you think about the ending?
It feels like the perfect bittersweet way to end it.
I agree. Yoko Taro's not gonna give you a happy ending.
Yeah.
He's just not.
Yeah, because like I even feel like the way that Automata originally ended felt a little too like on the cusp of like, yeah, they're probably okay.
A little bit too vague.
Yeah.
Where even like Replicant with the new ending E, definitely like even though it was quote unquote vague, you knew what was gonna happen. Everyone was fucked.
Yeah.
This was the way to end it. I think. Give the characters like the last adventure to let them run through all these memories, not even of your game, right? It's just memories of the franchise. Let them show you how much they care about each other, how much they're like internalizing, how much they want to save each other, and then just definitively end it like, hey, we're gonna keep fighting. We know we get lost, but we're gonna keep going out there. I'm like that. That's just, and then the weight of the world happens at the end, dude. Oh fuck me, dude. That was a moment. Like you, man. If there's any possibility, I know you can't because obviously if there's just money shit also is expensive, but man, if they ever happen, and Blu-ray for sure, then if you ever come Blu-ray, buy that shit because it was an experience and best time ever, right? Like we're talking like I am so hooked on this. I was telling them in line, I'm like, hey, I just finished Replicant like a week and a half ago. Like, what the fuck? I was like, yep, I did. And I told him, like, yeah, I beat Automata like in 2020 and I beat Drakengard 1 and 3. Like, he went through Drakengard 1? I was like, yeah. They're like, why? I was in. Oh man. But it really was special, I think. I think the dude, the church mod is I know it was canon through the fucking anime. I get that, but like Yoko Taro is like actively saying like,
yeah, he's fucking doubled down.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Like that man's so fucking funny to me. And I love how everyone's like saying, oh, but like it was in the anime. Yeah, but like I don't know, like Yoko Taro being there, which also he was there by the way, which of course, right? But like dude,
yeah,
the applause for him was fucking hilarious. It was just nuts. Like you'd imagine, like it is like Hideo Kojima going on stage for something, but just Yoko Taro being awkward in his meal helmet, needing to be walked around because he can't see shit. There was a moment where like, all right, everyone, let's take a picture, and then we'll talk more. We'll talk the more lore like deep when we go that game's gone by for sure. But
yeah,
there was a moment where oops. There was a moment where they were like, all right, let's take a picture, and Yoko Taro like on the meal helmet just like covers his eyes. Oh, that man is a treasure. And then what was it they say? They said, all right, Yoko Taro. Dude, they almost got me. They were doing a timeline at the end of the show. That did like a timeline where like, all right, 2010 Nier's released, or April 2010. They're like November 2010, the Nier orchestra something or whatever, or the Nier soundtrack. They're going through all the years of everything, and then you're like, and it was like in any perfect world that would have been like, and it climbed through 2022 or 2020, Nier Replicant, 2021 this, 2022 like Nier Reincarnation. I know it's before that, but then they got through, and then 2023 this thing happened. 2024 in big words, and they had the end of data thing, but I'm like, ooh, you motherfuckers, you almost had us all. Everyone was like, no fucking way, they're not gonna announce something. Not gonna fucking happen. That would have been nuts. But but yeah, they were like, all right, before we go, let's have everyone take a picture. Or no, it was like, uh, all right, we have a special announcement. Yoko Taro wants to say he wants to say something to the whole crowd. Okay. He said, now you may take pictures of us. We'll stand still here for 25 seconds. And they all sit there just like this, so we're gonna take pictures. It's a troll, dude. So funny.
Fucking hell.
Man, I'm so bummed I couldn't get a VIP. I would have loved for him to sign something of mine.
Oh, I thought you did get VIP.
No, that thing was like $300, and it was out like before you could blink.
Oh,
No, that shit was expensive, and it was sold out in a seconds. But someone did note that I guess he had a grudge against European Bandai Namco, or no, who did no European Square, because their box art is just a flower. And so I guess he's been pissed about that. But someone did say that I guess his grudge is over because he was willing to sign the box art for this one this time. So good for him. Anyway, my near journey is still ongoing. I am still trucking along. We have not played Automata since we got back. I played tonight actually, but we did get to about the end of Route B.
okay.
So we made good progress. Like we tried our best. If we had like 3 or 4 more days, we probably could have nailed it. But we made good progress because we're also doing a lot of side missions. I don't want to skip the side missions just to rush through the story. The side missions are part of it. In fact, I'm finding side missions I didn't do the first time around. I didn't do the Wise Machine side mission. So that was interesting. That was new to me. Yeah, when she walked away because she was gonna get some drink, and she was like, "Hey, we'll get some." Okay, and I was talking to people online. I'm like, "Yeah, so she is like new to games." And I just kind of threw her into this, and I knew it was gonna mess her up because the second like that robot at the beginning of the desert was like running away, she just turned to me and said, "He's just running away. Let him go." And I was like, "Unfortunately, that's not how this world works." Anyway, that's it. And I will say, as much as I liked Near Replicant, I am so fucking glad to take that out on my PS5 in a little bit. I am
Fair.
deeply excited. David, I forgot something that I got to collect in my other room for what I got.
Hell yeah.
Start off with what'd you play?
All right. Well, I have been going through a journey of the hearts from the kingdom. I was originally going through Drakengard 3, and then going through Drakengard 3, I realized that I don't want to really go through that right now. I just wasn't feeling it entirely. It was hard to go back to that. So,
Feeling
he
what?
has really been wanting. I was just kind of explaining my thought process again of why I'm switched up what I'm going through right now.
Okay.
And it's because as much as I want Leah to really enjoy the deep dive of Drakengard, Drakengard is the weakest part of it, and I wasn't feeling Drakengard 3 entirely. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. We're gonna do Kingdom Hearts. I know it's another series that she's really been wanting to do the deep dive on, and I thought we would have gotten some news about that today, but I guess not. So I was like, all right, let's get you down in the rabbit hole of Kingdom Hearts proper. Because she's played through Kingdom Hearts, never finished it, but she's played at least the first one and bits of the second one. So I played through all of Kingdom Hearts 1. I have everything but the super bosses left done, rather. I just need to work on those. I hate one of the big changes they did in the final mix version of Kingdom Hearts 1. They made it super fucking grindy. They introduced a lot of new enemies, and these new enemies now hold specific materials that you need to get some of the better items in the game. And there's one enemy that is the bane of my existence, and it is basically made it so that way I will not finish any scythe, doing the scythe, I can't fucking say it. Synthesization, there we go. God damn, I don't know why I always struggle with that fucking word. I'll basically... I went through most of the game without using the whole fucking system because a good chunk of the items, including the final weapon for Sora, requires an item drop from one of these fuckers. And they're these little pink robot monkeys. Go ahead.
See, I am dropped. Fuck it, I'm in. I just went
No,
through that
because the way
shit. Fuck it.
No, the way it works is after you reach a certain part in the game, they spawn in one area specifically, and they spawn in batches of 1, 2, and 3. And in order to guarantee an item drop from them, you have to kill 30 of them stealthily in a row. Which means stealthily in a row, you need to kill 90 of these fuckers to get all the item drops that you need to make the items. The problem is, though, is if they see you, immediately they stop any possibility of dropping items, and they can almost immediately insta-kill you. And fucking trying to stealth kill shit, one, with my Unga Bunga build was bad, because back in my day, magic was terrible in Kingdom Hearts 1, and apparently for Final Mix, they made it phenomenal. So I was built like Unga Bunga Sora, and so that's been limiting. But then also, too, Goofy and Donald's AI is fucking atrocious. And they just feel like face-tanking everything, even when I'm trying to hang back and stealth-kill things. So I tried for like a solid 2 hours, and I didn't get any item drops from it, and it was like, I'm not doing this. No, we're good. We don't need to do this. And then I did everything else in the game, so I basically just have the super bosses left to do. And I was like, alright, that's going to require grinding, because I need to at least get to around level 70 before even the Sephiroth fight becomes plausible to do. So I'll come back and do this later. And then so got through all of Kingdom Hearts 1. I am now about a quarter of the way through Chain of Memories. This is my first time playing the 3D version of Chain of Memories. I adored the Game Boy Advance game when it first came out, to the point where still to this day, that's my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. And honestly, hey, back in the chat, we are indeed Beanie Boys. Honestly, I kind of like the update to the 3D. It actually handled the transition pretty well. Some moves do act a little wonky because what were homing lasers before in a 2D plane are now homing lasers in a 3D plane. So those attacks are kind of trash now. But all in all, it plays really well. The only thing is I just, of course, missed the old art that they had for the game. But yeah, going through that now, I suspect that I should probably have that game banged out soon, and then I'll be on to Kingdom Hearts 2. But most of the games I should be able to complete in about a week and a half-ish at most.
I also realized we just switched up a little bit. We usually did what we get first.
It's true.
So, David looks like he's robbing a bank, says Abmaki.
Hell yeah.
Let's double down then. What'd you get also, David?
What did I also get? I got a fuck ton of shit.
Let's see it.
Alright. So this came in. I'm still waiting on fucking Tekken. They just shipped it. Amazon's like, no, you don't need this right away. And I'm like, no, I would like to play some fucking Tekken, please.
Damn.
And they're like, no. So they just mailed out Tekken.
What the fuck?
So maybe this weekend I'll get it. But I did get Ace Attorney, the Apollo trilogy.
I need to grab that soon. It's eyeballing me.
And then I think that was the only pre-order thing I got. This finally came in from Play Asia. I ordered this like 2-3 months ago for $5 whole because they basically had a dumpster fire sale on this, and I was like, yeah, I'll take the game and basically all its DLC for $5. And it's the Chinese version. It has English to it though. Of Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, but it comes with the DLC, and it was $5. So I was like, why not? I'm down for that.
Sure.
Then let's see, what else did I get here? I'm sad because this did not have the manual, but I got it for $2, so whatever, at some point down the road, I'll go and pick it up. But I've been wanting to add this to my collection for a while now, and that is Yu Yu Hakusho Forever on the PS2. The final Yu Yu Hakusho fighting game, if memory serves correctly.
Rare or not?
Not rare. It's like usually $10-15.
It sounds like something I would have been.
It's because it's a Japanese release. It doesn't get like a major.
yeah.
Yeah. unless you're basically like a Capcom release or a SNK release, Japanese fighters don't go for a ton. Speaking of Japanese, hell yeah. Speaking of Japanese fighters, I got a lot because I had a loose copy of the second game, but it was it was both the first and the second ones for $10 each. So I now have Complete in Box, Jump Ultimate Stars, and now I also have Jump Superstars.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, there is a fan translation for Jump Ultimate Stars. Highly recommend them. They're a kind of Smash clone for the DS. But they have like a super min-maxy customization system where you build your team of playable characters and you kind of 1 to 3 characters on your team. But then in the same grid space that you use your characters, you can customize different parts of their abilities or stats. But it all works within the limits of like a comic panel, and then each customization has its own amount of panels that adds into it.
Okay.
It's really fucking sweet. I highly recommend checking it out if nothing else as a novelty, as a Smash person that you are. I also went ahead. Walmart had a dumpster fire sale as well for a lot of things, so I picked up a couple of them. Field copy of Gang Beasts for the X-Back. This I will intend to play, so I'll end up opening it. But Guardians of the Galaxy at dumpster fire prices.
I'm very excited for you to play that. That might be a game's gone by one day, I think, actually.
I have been thinking about it. I know that Leah and I have both been interested in playing it. So
yeah, I think you're gonna be very pleasantly surprised at how good it is.
I mean, everything that I've seen so far, I'm like, oh, that's what Andromeda should have been.
It's not really as RPG heavy, but
no, but neither was Andromeda, so it's fine.
Sure.
And then lastly, from the Walmart dumpster fire sale, Callisto Protocol.
Nice. Also, a game that I think was all right. I didn't play that much of it in the grand scheme of things. I want to go back to it eventually. I think it got unfairly beaten though. Yeah,
it's one of those unfortunate things where the timing of it was like, hey, the successor to Dead Space. Oh, by the way, we just announced the remake of Dead Space 1.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay.
But they also spent a lot of money to create that game, which is unfortunate that it kind of didn't do as hot.
Fair. And then lastly, oh no,
no, you're good.
I was gonna say, and of course, Humble monthly bundle. I got that. But lastly, I traded in a bunch of broken games and broken controllers I had laying around from other lots I've gotten over time. And with those, I picked up 2 things: Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Prologue. So now all I'm missing is Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories, which is also canon to the story. But once I have that, I will then effectively have the whole fucking series there on PS4.
Hell yeah.
But an actual fucking banger here. I am excited that this was a reasonable price at the shitty store that I sell all my broken shit to. And I got a Togi.
How much was it?
It was $45.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
Kel's in the chat. Doesn't help. They try to tie it into PUBG.
Callisto Protocol, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's all I got.
Kel's the tech had mentioned. I'm so bummed that neither of us have the game. I have to. I'm
glad we don't, because then not one of us is like, oh fuck, I want to play with you. It's
I can't play it, or I can't buy it till payday next week. I went a little bit too hard on this trip, which I knew I was going to. Sacrifices were made.
That's fine. I got to do family shit this weekend, so even if it shows up this weekend, I won't be able to play it anyways.
You know what then? I get it. I get paid Thursday or Friday of next week, so maybe we'll make our first play. Let's do a stream of that.
Hell yeah.
Kelsey, got a week of training my ghost. Go for it. Well, let's lobby of that too. So, well, we'll get that whole thing going, but for sure then. Now I don't feel as guilty because I've been wanting to play that, but you know. All right. Other stuff. Let's see. So I showed you all the near shit I got. Perfect. Also, yeah, John did Cell Gamers.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. But we had to talk about that. I went in there because I had a $25 off coupon still. So I'm gonna go see what was in there. I was hoping Pokemon Channel was there because I saw they got it, but it actually sold relatively quickly this time, which is weird. That game never really sells quickly. Kelsey, their ghost is absolutely diabolical. I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
So I went there to go see what was in there. They had a copy. I was this close to buying it, but I was like, you know what? I as much as I want it because it would tickled the whole shitty game but rare thing that I do with the 64 particularly. I almost bought Turok 3. But also I was like, I'm going to Nier concert tomorrow, so fuck that. I'm gonna save. Um, anyway, did buy this though. Saw this was there. It's not necessarily a rare game, but it's like a $25 $30 game. Need for Speed Most Wanted on GameCube. I heard this looks like ass. Like it's the graphics are terrible. Shoutouts. Let's see. All right. I got a bunch of Switch goodies, but before I get to those, I got Sonic Superstars. That was $20. We'll talk about Sonic later on in the stream, but hell yeah. All right. Got another code. This game is definitely going to start dwindling down. I always say I got a copy here or there. So if you want the game, go grab it. This I don't know what expectations are. It definitely didn't have a big print, but it sold through the print. So I'm assuming they're looking for digital sales, just because I know people really want the Hotel Dusk. They hope Hotel Dusk is next to go on the Switch.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Because I have Hotel Dusk and I have The Last Window or whatever it's called, the European sequel. People want that. So I'm hoping it did well enough to get those, because that'd be cool for them. It wouldn't have the novelty of the DS being like a blick, but fuck it, who cares? Just get the game out. All right. I got Persona 3 Portable.
Hell yeah.
I'm super excited for Persona 3. I've been hearing really good stuff now, so I'm like, all right, cool. I'm down to play. And then,
unfortunately, I made the mistake of buying mine with Persona 4, so I got to wait till Persona 4 is out to get them.
yeah, you know what? I forgot I did that, and so this thing just showed up here. I was like, oh fuck, fast as I ever expected. As fast as anything ever happened from Limited Run, and that's the last time it's ever ended up that fast. David, I got these. I have one copy on the PS4 already. Got this one brand new, but they're $20 each. I'm like, you know what? This will look good in there too. So I got myself Strikers and Tactica for $20
Strikers
each.
runs like ass on Switch.
I bet, but it was $20.
You could have gone it still for that same price on PS4.
I have it on PS4.
You just want them side by side, is it?
Well, I want it, and once I get Persona 4, and then I'll eventually get a Persona 5 Royal, and it'll just look really good on Switch to have all these Persona games together, I think. What do you mean?
Man.
What do you mean?
This man.
What do you mean? You like collections?
No.
Yeah, you're
I've
right.
never collected a thing in my life. Ignore everything behind me.
Right. I bought some digital games, but I'm not gonna go over those. All right. So you talk about what you played. So let's see. You know what? And I talked about this last week, and I can already see myself turning heel or turning, what do you call it? Turning coat on my own opinion here.
Alright.
I did have my class start Firewatch, and already I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that different Adrian played Firewatch back in the day and thought, it was pretty weak. I did not give a shit really about Firewatch. I thought the ending was weak. I thought everything that happened about it was weak. I had the students playing, and I was meant to play it myself. Just didn't have time with Nier, just having to get cranked out as far as I could before the trip. But I'm watching them play. I'm like, you know what? I disagree with old me. I have grown, and I've grown as a human being, and I've discovered my sins. You know what? The writing is really fucking good. They've not beaten it yet, so I still got to reevaluate the ending. I do remember what it was though, and you know what? I even knew this going into it, but I was like, yeah, that's something that I'd appreciate infinitely more right now than I ever would have back then. I think you should eventually play that game. I do.
Not happening.
You're not. Why not?
I had zero interest at release. I have zero interest now.
You have zero interest in any walking simulator, though. To be fair.
Yeah,
And how did that work out for you?
I've come to like one.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Yeah, it's not even. No. First off, let's rewind back. It's not. I've come to like. I've come to like be
Yeah, I
absolutely.
one review as an absolute masterpiece. However,
yes. And Firewatch being. Let me see how I finish, and I'll give you that recommendation again. But
unless it ends up as a games gone by game, it ain't happening.
oh, I mean, yeah, that's the only way you're up. But unless it's the Giant Sparrow, which even Giant Sparrow's previous one, unfinished one, I would not recommend you play. But just judging how it goes, and I can see the flow of things, I thematically makes a lot more sense to me. Thematically makes a lot more sense to me. Everything starts clicking in there, and I definitely take back what I said before. I stand by the fact that even though I didn't like Firewatch before, that it's still an absolute travesty that they got bought out by Valve and essentially gutted.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. They made a trailer for some game called In the Valley of the Gods, and there was a trailer for it at the Game Awards, and they were like getting hyped up, right? Because like Firewatch is very critically acclaimed. I was like, all right, here's our next game. Which also, by the way, I believe one of the people that founded Campo Santo was one of the writers of the really, really good Walking Dead episode Telltale games. He wrote the really
good one.
Yeah, the really good ones. So they had a lot of prospects, but yeah, they went to Valve, and apparently Valve doesn't have this structure anymore. But when they went there, however many years back, that was when they could be like, all right, do what the fuck you want. Welcome to the team. And that's when a few of them just like ended up. I guess they were like planning originally. Yeah, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be a Valve game. Didn't last. They kind of split it off a little bit, started doing their own things, and a lot of them found their way into the Half-Life Alyx team. I think one of them. I was reading that one of the guys there made like some of the tech, like some of the water text or stuff like that. That was very like everyone was like, oh, this is super cool. And it was some guy from Campo Santo that did that. And I was watching. I guess it's cool. They still keep up on their subreddit. So like someone was asking about them like a year ago. What the fuck happened to them? And he's like, hey, so that's kind of what he's like. We don't all hang out because we like all got brought in here and we were able to do whatever we wanted. He's like, I still sit by a bunch of my old crew. We still hang out and talk daily and all this, but yeah, there's no real like group of us anymore. It's just like we all just end up finding our own way in different part of your life, different part of the company you find your way into, which is fair, but it's unfortunate because that studio as a cohesive had a lot of potential. I think, regardless of how I felt about Firewatch. So yeah, I've been doing that. Done with fucking like I said, fucking love that game still. It's a testament. I told the girlfriend this. I was like, I give a shit about the series if I'm like enthralled and having an amazing time listening to the music when I put 130 hours into this like not 130-hour game. And I've been doing this over and over, and I grinded. So it's like, I gave a shit about that. So that meant a lot. Let's see, what else did I play? Near Reincarnation. I've been making my way through that.
Yeah, that one I'm trying to find a weekend where I can just like sit down and just binge through it.
Don't wait too long. You were literally on a time limit for this one.
No, the unfortunate thing is February is a busy ass fucking month for me. I think March is probably where I'll find the time to do it, honestly. Oh, because it closes down in April.
Yeah, because the last chapter happens in March. They give hey motherfuckers, you got 1 month. You know what?
So
I'm gonna say something controversial. I wish more games did that because you know why? I'd finish them. If some bash came to my house and said, "Hey, you got 1 month, and this goes away forever," But all right, cool. I'll play.
Well, I mean, because then we also end up with situations like Spec Ops: The Line, where it just silently disappeared.
Yeah. So I was always contemplating. You ever bought that on Steam? Did you?
No, I think I have it physical though, so I don't care.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. So I'm gonna personally try to go through that game sometime in the not too far flung future whenever I find time. It's only like 5 or 6 hours. That game like hit me, but again, this is like 2012, 2013 Adrian, right? Where like even Firewatch didn't hit me in the way. So I'm wondering. I'm sure it's still gonna be a very powerful game, but like thematically with some of the games I align with now, I'm like I feel like other games probably did it better, but that's me being so displaced from that now. I'm wondering if there. That's how I felt with the beginner's guide. I was like, maybe games at this point have done better and maybe feel better about it. No, like beginner's guide is so fucking you've if you've seen the games gone by, you've seen the games gone by. Like that game is still very near and dear to me. But like I wonder if Spec Ops would. So there's a good chance that is a game's gone by, especially if I do go through it and do still feel the same way.
I know Chris at one point when we had the other games gone by really wanted to do it.
Yeah, and I know you very well. And there's gonna be one thing that is very prominent about that game, and then a developer said something specifically about this that you would think is the dumbest thing you've ever heard, and I can promise you that. Like, now they're not wrong, but you would hate it. I can already foresee this. Here you go. You with your fucking cup. That's fucking dumb. It's exactly.
So I find their opinion dumb, is what you're saying?
There's something that happens, and like it's
because I know how the game ends.
No, it's not even about how the game ends. There's a
Okay.
very prominent thing that happens in there, and then people are kind of questioning like, oh, but this and that, and then they had an interview with it, and then the developer kind of offers like, well, they say something, and then everyone's like, no, you would say that's fucking dumb, or that's
okay,
or that's
you have
lazy
my
or something.
curiosity.
Yeah, I can promise you would hate it. Not the entire series. You'd have to really. I got it. I'm gonna see how I feel about it, and then I'm gonna try to guide it around a certain thing.
Let me know when you decide that you are gonna carve out some time to play it, because I'll try to do the same, and we could always add that as like a one-off special kind of
Remember,
thing.
it doesn't matter. We can record games gone by whenever the fuck we want now. So it's like
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's
Right,
still
right.
finding the time to record. So I mean,
right. Yeah, because like how long to beat it does not. It's not a long game at all.
no, I think it was like at most 10 hours.
No, it's 6 hours.
Oh, beautiful.
Now I'll say this: there are some parts of that game that stuck out to me that was like that I thought are still really fucking cool, and I still think are cool. And it's funny because like there's something that happens in it that's very near. It's funny. It's like the way they play with something is like exactly how you'd imagine it with Nier, which is really cool. But yeah, I'm gonna try to navigate my way through it, and then I'm gonna try to talk you into it with guiding you around that, because it is.
Ooh, the 360 version works on the series.
Oh yeah,
Fuck. I might have to track down that version of it.
yep. And technically, the 360 version is still digitally available for anyone out there that wants it. You have to go to the 360 marketplace to buy it, though.
Which, you only got like a week or not a week. You got like shy of a year left on that.
Yep. I have Spec
Oh,
Ops.
eBay's already starting to hyperinflate the prices.
How much?
I'm seeing some listed for like 90.
Yep. Shout outs. Hey, physical.
Holy shit, I'm already seeing some bids going to over 100.
Let me find my copy real quick. Well, I'm not gonna sell it, but let me go look.
Holy fuck.
Talk to the audience, David.
All right. Goddamn, I hate when this shit happens. Like, I remember with the PlayStation 3, like when that marketplace was threatening to shut down, that fucking so many games for that inflated to absurd levels. I remember what was it? The PlayStation Network collection there. That I remember that inflating to almost $400 at one point, which there is a part of my brain that kind of wishes I had sold when it was going for like $400, and then rebuy it later, just to cash in on those free tendies. But I'm glad I didn't.
I remember when I worked at GameStop. This was one of the games that had so many copies of it that we would use as coasters. um, yeah. So this game was also had a multiplayer aspect that was shoehorned in. Like they're like, you gotta add multiplayer because that's the only way we get these games to sell. Because I was remembering that the era of every game has a multiplayer mode, like Mass Effect and stuff like that. I remember. Um, but it was ass and it also contradicted every single thing about the campaign, which was fucking weird. The devs even like it. The devs kind of talk shit about it. They're like, yeah, they made us do that. Um, but I'm excited to go through it again. Um, I really hope it does hold up. I really do. I get a little worried because I'm like at this point, games have gotten so crazy with their narratives and have been so clever with it. I wonder if this one holds up. I hope it does. And I'm gonna make a. I know Dave or I know Gore and I had this particular argument about this game about a certain about I don't even share. There's an aspect of the game that he and I argued about that I still stand by for sure, and I'll definitely make the argument when we play it.
Thought I had it physically. I double checked my game database. I do not, but I do have it on Steam already.
Okay.
But I will have to try to see if I can track down a 360 copy at some point.
Yeah, you gotta look at those game stores that did not catch the memo.
Yeah, fucking. I'm like, do I have time this weekend to go fucking store hopping?
Yeah. David,
Yo,
a lot of shit happened this week.
we've had an absurd amount of shit happen this past week. Some of which I'm sure you don't necessarily have a vested interest in, but there's a couple things to go over here. Um, man, a couple things to just have a quick highlight on. The first one, not necessarily relevant to nerd culture shit per se, but I feel that because it's a subject that gets brought up a lot on this podcast, it only makes sense to talk about it.
Hitler?
Did you hear about the AI shenanigans happening with Taylor Swift?
Yeah. Fuck yourself if you're doing that. That's weird.
Yeah, you're fucking weirdo. But also, it's hilarious that the same day that broke, Microsoft had to admit that they fired all of the people responsible for the ethical oversight of their AI code.
uh, Microsoft also fired some other people, David.
They've been firing a lot of people. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the Pandora's box is open with AI tech. There's no going back.
No, there never will be because it's open source, so it's like who the like
Yeah.
you can't regulate this. It's like
No.
it's open. And that's why when we had our discussions, like at this point, it's like cell phones, right? It's like it's a new beast. You have to learn how to harness it. Sorry, if anyone just wants to live a world without it, it's not happening. You got to figure out like what's the limit and then how do you protect yourself from it, and how to, if you have to have it in your life, how do you harness that thing?
And also, I look forward to the day when we have a major war break out because of AI deepfake bullshit. I can't wait for that apocalyptic future.
Yeah.
But yeah, AI is fucking heinous, and there's a reason I have been very adamant against it. And if you're doing that kind of shit, again, you're kind of a fucking weirdo. There's plenty of legitimately people want there's so much porn out there of people that want you to consume said porn. Why go out of your way to? I don't know. That's just fucking weird to me.
Yeah.
That aside, Yeah, well, that's a good segue. Let's talk about other firings going on at Microsoft. Adrian, whomst has Microsoft gone ahead and chopped aside from their ethics department?
A lot of people. Hey, also shout outs to my friends Kirsten out there. She got laid off from Insider. Uh, Everyone's making cuts around the board, and right now it's kind of that hit of COVID, I think, where everyone's like, "Yep, we try to sustain as much as we could."
Are done.
Yep. But yeah, when it comes to Microsoft, mergers always have layoffs. So it's like if you were not expecting a layoff at some point, then that's on you. Like this something like that was gonna happen.
They got to recoup those purchases somehow.
That and also there's just a lot of repeat positions now. It's like you don't need an HR for this.
Yeah.
You got HR for that already. But yeah, it's tough seeing everything get rocked. But I don't know. I try to find silver linings and things. That's how I do things. You know that. But it was like this is the alternative versus a Kodak ran Activision that was gonna just cut those people anyway. I think. Like if the company had to sell, it couldn't sustain.
Yeah.
People were getting chopped, and Kodak is still running it. Kodak's out. They did get a new Blizzard president. Shout out to her. I forget her name. But
no, if I remember correctly, she was like one of the former heads of WoW, though. At one, Call of Duty.
Yeah. Big shout outs to the dorks out there. They're like, oh, does she even play games? That's stupid. That was the dumbest thing I read. I'm like,
I guess the executive level, it doesn't matter because the executive level
even,
is how we make money.
But even then, it's like that was one of the first things she said. She's like, "Oh yeah, here's what I'm playing. I'm playing Diablo 4, playing some of this. I'm playing Baldur's Gate. Cool. Well, you wouldn't ask to have a guy was up there. I'm sure. Whatever. Kodak does not look like someone that fucking plays video games.
No, he's too busy diddling children, allegedly. So
shout outs. Kel says, I don't understand why all the different divisions haven't been split yet.
Because it doesn't make sense to, and I'm sure there's some. My knowledge on that side of business law is casual at best. I'm sure part of it has to do with the way that the group is registered. So, depending on how company filings go and depending on how they were purchased, if they were purchased as a whole acquisition, as like this is the one entity of it, it depends on if they bought the name separately, and it's fucking weird. Again, my knowledge of it is casual, but it's very likely that if they wanted to do any division separation, they probably legally can't for at least a few years because of different protections and whatnot.
Sure.
But yeah, so I think it was like what, just shy of 2,000 jobs in total.
I want to say 1,700 or 1,800, maybe even 19. But yeah, it was just under that.
And it's I said this on Twitter because my opinion obviously is important, and it's the fact that like I'm sure a lot of it too is also culling the herd of the problem in a lot of ways.
So it's tough. You don't want to ever say this kind of stuff, right? But it really is, and it's like, oh, Overwatch survival game got cut. Fuck Microsoft. It's like, if the game was good, do you think Microsoft would have been like, oh, get rid of it? Fuck that.
Yeah.
No, it's like the game was obviously survival game with the Overwatch engine. Think of what kind of shitbag CEO probably forced the Overwatch team to do something else just to be culturally relevant and stay in the zeitgeist that probably didn't work out as well. I like Overwatch fucking 2. Like, please, it's so fucking stupid. That is the dumbest argument. Like, and I'm sorry. Same thing with anyone that like Scalebound apologists. That game already did not look good. I'm sorry. Go back and watch it. That's the slowest fucking Platinum game out there. People that say that, yeah, how'd your I already forgot the fucking name. What's the fucking game that they made that already died in a year?
Babylon's Fall?
Yeah. Babylon's the same like Platinum, fantastic developer, but also can be a little unruly. That's obviously where that was. Now Microsoft did force them to put the 4-player stuff in there, but the game was looking like ass anyway, so fuck it. Like
It's funny because I was actually going to use them as an example as well of, other than Scalebound, what else has Microsoft just been like no to?
hey,
Like,
also
straight up, Redfall
yeah,
has been
hey,
an
but they
absolute
should have
mess,
said
but-
no to Redfall. What was everyone saying? Oh, how the fuck this release? What the fuck? Microsoft says no. Oh, what the fuck? Cancel it. Like, we get it. Like, they can't win because of everything, this, and that. No, fuck that. Like, they could have put this out there. It would have been like ass, like Redfall. Everyone would be like, oh, look, the quality of Xbox when they do, even though, like, they had nothing to do with it. They really had nothing to do with Redfall. That shit was already development. Like, come on. I'm actually, like, I'm actively, it sounds kind of fucked up, right? But I'm actively happy they axed it, because now that shows me that they stepped in a little bit more. Remember how they were always so hands off? They were like, do whatever you want. You're autonomous. You're just under our umbrella making us money. No, Redfall was like, our bad. Okay, we do have to.
Yeah, they've learned.
We do have to keep an eye on things still. Granted, yeah, cool. You saw this thing made for 5 or 6 years with this engine that still was not coming out there. That you don't think that Microsoft would be like, oh, this thing that's 5 or 6 years old. Oh, it looks pretty good. Yeah, let's put it out there. Let's get our money back. No, if it did not look like it was gonna make money, why the fuck would you do that? Like logically, how the fuck does that make sense?
At this point, when they're like, oh yeah, let's throw anything we can on Game Pass to ensure that we keep getting consistent subscribers, do you think they would throw away easy tendies and be like, oh, this game's basically done? All right, just throw it on Game Pass. Why not?
No, it was obviously not done. It was obviously not good. It took a lot of money. It took a lot of time. Axe it. Like that project should have been axed about a year in development at most. But it took Microsoft showing up there, and that shows you the state of Activision and how Kotick was running shit. He just kept, and like Hell says, a lot of narrative for Overwatch got cut too while they were swinging on the up after the BlizzCon. It sucks for that. That's a Kotick issue. If Kotick knew how to run his fucking ship, that franchise would have been fucking massive. Like the IP for Overwatch had so much wicked potential. Like you were like Overwatch merch was every fucking where. Everyone forget that. Like 4 or 5 years ago, Overwatch merch was everywhere. Like you saw that everywhere. Everyone knew.
Yeah, you couldn't swing a cat without hitting anything Overwatch.
And like they had all the shorts coming out there at a good pace. Everything was chugging along. Then what happened? Oh, suddenly they go radio silent. Oh, suddenly the game doesn't get updated for 2 years. Oh, now there's a drought content. Oh, here's Overwatch 2 and it comes out in a weird state. Like you think they just did that? Oh, Jeff from the Overwatch team leaves too. Like, you think
Jeff Keighley of the Overwatch
you think
team.
this just happens? Like, no. Like, the Kotick saw like money in his eyes when he saw Overwatch do well, and then just literally flipped a coin and picked every wrong choice every single time. When you could have just not flipped the coin, when you could have just had, hey, good job, y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, unironically, which is weird because like I understand that it's very ambitious, but like. Unironically, I think the one that Jeffrey from the Overwatch team had, the vision for it was interesting enough that I think it might have worked. But granted, we can speak in hindsight all we want, right? But the whole I forget if we talked about it. Did you hear about his whole like walk or crawl, walk, run aspect of Overwatch?
No.
Overwatch was always meant to be the MMO, kind of like where it's going.
Yeah, because wasn't that like it was like Project Titan originally?
Yeah, but like they made. If you remember, Overwatch releases Overwatch Origin Edition, because Overwatch was like almost like the beta test of everything. They're like, all right, we have these mechanics, let's toss it out there in a PvP mode and let's just see how people like it. Blew the fuck up. That's not like imagine like you threw a test thing out there, like just see how people feel about it. Oh, it just blew up. Oh fuck. The plan was, okay. This is the crawl. Overwatch, the PvP was the crawl. Like, okay, let's see how this works. Oh, did? Okay, cool. Now let's walk. Now let's make like an adventure game like this. Okay, that worked too. Now let's run. Now let's do this MMO. That's what it was planned to do. That's what he was planning on doing.
Which honestly, it fucking be great because it just reminds me of WildStar.
Yeah.
where that was a very action-oriented MMO, and it's like, or even like Black Desert, where it's like, fuck, you could have.
Right. It sounds
really cool shit
ambitious,
with that
right?
concept.
And I understand why they crashed, because like when your crawl aspect, your beta aspect of your franchise blows up to an insane amount, I don't blame the fact that Jeff was like pulled every other direction, being like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, that's huge. Let's keep doing more of that, when they were like originally like, oh, let's sprinkle some more, and then let's go do the next project. It was like, no, that becomes your project. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, then I get where that happens, but I don't get where Bobby Kotick just fucks everything. Like, how you fuck everything up with that, when that franchise could have been like, it's just astounding. I mean, I'm
because
saying,
it wasn't Call of Duty.
but even Call of Duty, he runs in the ground too, right? Because it doesn't it hits and it's popular. Obviously, it's the best selling game every year, so don't take that for granted. But like, it doesn't hit with the quality, right? Like, it's like every year you kind of have
But
meandering
people buy it every year.
They do, but like, there's a difference when people buy it and people love it, right? Like, you're talking like, again, like Overwatch, everyone fucking loved it. Now they don't.
Yeah, but that's what he wanted. Is he wanted people buying it every year.
Yeah, but he doesn't see past that, which is the issue. I'm glad he's gone.
Yes.
But the game, he made one game of the year, so I was more than willing to let the man cook. Yeah, which it should have been, right? Hey, this dude just fucking made your game of the year, and this is the beginning phase.
Yeah.
If I was Bobby Kotick, I shut the fuck up, give the man a bonus, let him cook.
This is why we don't have a game studio.
Yeah, we'd be too rich.
Speaking of layoffs, there was another major company that did a major layoff. Shout outs to people that were like, no, let everyone cook. And Riot Games had a few thousand employees laid off as well.
I think we talked about that.
Like
I forget if we
5,000.
talked about that or not, but it did have to do with the fact that the name is just not big enough, right?
No, it's the fact that the name is huge. It is globally considered one of the largest IPs. The problem is that they stuck to the IP and didn't do anything different. Like, the games are interesting and wild and varied. I mean, fuck, what was it, like that last fucking Nintendo Direct? There was like that almost like Yoshi's Woolly World looking one there, which was kind of neat. But that's part of the problem, is because everything has to be League of Legends. Nothing is given a chance to be its own IP and its own identity. So when people think League of Legends, they go into fucking Yoshi's Woolly World. It's like, what the fuck is this? Not interested in moving on.
I think that's a double-edged sword though too, because like, I feel like League of Legends also, like, if you think of it like, of what the game it is, which is a very, I know it's obviously popular, everyone's into it, but also it's very inaccessible for just normies, right? Like,
Oh yeah, nowadays getting into it is like trying to get into like Magic the Gathering or some shit where there's so much legacy knowledge.
right. So it's like when I see like a game like that, a League of Legends story, I'm like, I'm sure it's good. I lose a little interest in it. I'm like, all right. But like, and I know I'm definitely stupid for that, just because like, right, because you like, but then like, I don't know. I disagree with what I just said, because like Arcane,
Yeah, popped up insanely.
and it was still a League of Legends thing, but didn't need Arcane : a League of Legends story, right? Like, it's just Arcane, and cool,
Yeah.
it ties in League of Legends, cool. I think they should have done more of that. Sucks for those layoffs, but
Yeah, and again, there's a lot of mismanagement and handling there. And then speaking of mismanagement and mishandling, this is not necessarily video game related in any way, shape, or form, but they have a video game series, so I'm using that as the excuse to talk about that. Speaking of one alleged predator to another when it comes to Bobby Kotick, we're going to talk about Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. We're gonna. So as I have mentioned a few times, Project L this year. Oof, yeah. We'll see what happens with Project L. I am a fan of the grapples. It is the road to WrestleMania. It is one of my favorite times of year to get back into wrestling and get into WWE in particular. And some allegations have come back up. And again, we have to stress technically at this time they are allegations. However, they're allegations from a prior person that was already had a settlement. So I think that they are less allegations and more. We're finally finding out more information. And there's some interesting sex trafficking allegations against Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. And they're fucking heinous. I read through the documents on them. Uh, and all I have to say is, what the fuck is it with white people having the weirdest brutalization and domination of fetishes involving other races?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't have those kinds of fetishes. I have normal fetishes. Thank you very much.
Like feet.
Ugh,
Hey, I
fucking disgusting.
I
Get out of here with
I
that.
always when I'm with a group of the dudes and it's like anywhere from like 5 to 8 of us, I always call out like, all right, motherfuckers, who's in the feet? 25% of the male population is in the feet. Just say it. Like, no, I'm not even gonna judge. I don't give a fuck.
I will. That's fucking
I don't give a
heinous.
shit.
Feet are
Nah,
gross.
on the scale of heinous, I'm like feet on the. There's so much actual gross shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't give a shit if you're in the
Yeah,
feet.
I mean, there's genuinely a lot of bad shit there, but like in terms of, we'll call them the vanilla things.
Sure.
Feet are fucking gross. Uh, they're absolutely fucking gross.
But yeah, yeah, you guys are weird.
Yeah, those guys are fucking weird.
You guys.
But yeah, so Vince McMahon has some seriously heinous to the point where already TKO, the owners of UFC and now WWE, have basically ejected him from the company in every way, shape, or form. And another key wrestler, Brock Lesnar, has been basically blackballed from the organization. While he was not directly named in all these reports, he's very heavily alluded to the point where it literally can't be anyone else but fucking him.
Literally.
So yeah, literally.
So anyway, describe it as really quick. 'Cause I don't want to jump into too much because we are gonna go long, and I want to get through the state of play.
Yeah.
Give me how is it insinuated it's him and no one else?
Basically, that they were trying to traffic a woman to him, and negotiations were falling through. The time period that this happened was when he just left the company. He was also the person in question was also mentioned as being a former UFC champion, of which there's only been 3 or 4 former UFC champions that have been WWE/F wrestlers. And in the modern era, there's only one. Because it certainly ain't Dan Severn, and it certainly ain't fucking Ken Shamrock, and I don't remember who the other one was.
Imagine if it was.
So, who was it?
No, imagine if it was one of them.
Oh, imagine if it was.
Oh, there you go. Maybe it was Ronda Rousey. Why are we assuming it was Brock?
Well, that's one of the other funny things is Ronda Rousey had made some comments that made it sound like she was also attempted to be trafficked to other individuals as well, which makes sense for a lot of her issues with the company, the fans aside, and the fact that she can't fucking wrestle aside. But yeah, so there's a lot of heinous and wild shit coming out. Shout outs to Paul Levesque, Triple H, for basically not acknowledging it during a press conference recently and was just like, oh yeah, I haven't read all those allegations. The man is your father-in-law. I don't know how you don't read those allegations. But shout outs to Cody Rhodes and the Bella Twins, who are like, yeah, that's fucking horrible and heinous. And no one that actually did that shit should ever be allowed to fucking walk this earth. Shout outs to them. Fucking hell. It's fucking wild. Absolutely. But But yeah, aside from that, though, I think that's it for the really heinous news that we have. Do we actually no? We have one other bit of heinous news. Do we want to talk about this state of play that happened today?
Yeah, I tuned in very sparingly. I was too
That's
busy watching
okay.
the
There
other
was
one.
sparingly anything shown.
So let's just talk about the good shit then, because I do want to get out of here.
We got nothing to talk about then.
There was some stuff. There was some stuff. Hey, shout out to Dave the Diver, and then you hear the Godzilla music. That was fun.
I mean, I still have not played Dave the Diver, so reservations
I don't know why
are
you
held
have
for that
not.
one.
It's literally you.
I mean, I don't go by Dave.
Yeah, you
Aside
do.
from when people on this podcast call me Big Dave, but
Hey, good for them though. I'm glad the game's doing well and they can do crossovers like
yeah.
that. I know.
I guess the
Go ahead.
there's two things I guess really to call out. At
Death
least for
Stranding
me.
2.
No.
Big shout out to
Silent Hill
Death
2
Stranding
remake.
2 on the beach. Shout out to them, and then Kojima's gonna make a new IP for PlayStation. So man's hustling himself off right now, which is good.
Yeah,
for him.
man is basically making Metal Gear Solid at home.
Yeah.
Anyways, the two things I care about talking about. First, Silent Hill related stuff. We got a gameplay trailer for Silent Hill 2 remake. I love the people mad at this fucking trailer when it's like, yeah, you do quite a bit of combat in Silent Hill 2, and it at least shows me so far that like they're not making it great combat. I would be concerned if they were making it great combat because that shouldn't be the primary.
Yeah, we
focus.
talked about this a lot. I don't want the game to be fun. I don't know. It's weird. I'm like, I don't want it to be super fucking fun. Like, the point is to me to be like, to not enjoy being in that world. And what do you enjoy being part of the world in a really fun game?
Yeah, a lot of people I saw comparing this to Resident Evil. I'm like, I don't know if we've played the same games before, but like, nothing about that trailer said Resident Evil to me.
I disagree. There were some parts like it felt very traditional, where it's like when you see the door opening or like the little puzzle being done, and it's like third person. It felt very Resident Evil in that fashion. But I don't know. I see some of the similarities, but it doesn't seem as smooth, which is the point.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still cautiously optimistic. The main thing I care about, and I tweeted this at you earlier today, I just need to know if they're leaving the story the fuck alone. If they leave the story the fuck alone, literally give us a 1-to-1 of what the story was, that's all it needs. Just leave it alone. Leave the story the fuck alone. Give us some modern graphics. Give us the same. I would have even been fine with the same old shit gameplay. But fine, you're giving us modern shit gameplay. I don't care. Just leave that story the fuck alone. If you start going in, you start changing things, and you start being like, no, it's been missing this. Or
Was there a lot of change in the trailer?
I
don't think there was.
No, it seems like the areas. It just seems like the areas modernized. The enemy designs still seem to evoke the spirit of the original designs.
Yeah,
I didn't see anything atrocious.
So far, so good then. But
yeah, again, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I just don't know why you're not getting me a release date. That seems a little weird.
I'm fine with that. Fuck it. Let this cook as long as it needs
I agree.
to. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit if it's a 2026 on it. But I'm just like, it just seems a little weird. I don't know. Like, it feels like, I don't know.
Don't give me a release date until you're going to release.
Sure, but that's not the standard, so it makes me wonder about it.
I know that's not the standard, but it's. I am truly at that point where it's like, fuck it. Unless you're like 3-4 months out from release, don't ever give me a release date at this point.
Sure. That's fair.
However, we did get a surprise drop. We got a shadow drop of a P2E2, basically, where we have a new little Silent Hill game. It's just a short little fun experience. I'll probably be downloading that tonight so I can play it. The one thing I am Silent Hill related also concerned about is we still haven't seen hide nor fucking hair of this Silent Hill game by Rikishi 7.
Yeah, I don't think
I
you're gonna.
fucking need that in my life.
No, I don't think you're gonna.
Maybe next year we'll get it, or maybe at the earliest Tokyo Game Show.
I think you're gonna let 2 come out first, take all of whatever it needs, and then eventually, then after that, you'll get those.
I can hope so because I am fucking excited for that. Because if there is any writer in the modern era I trust to fucking get Silent Hill and to do Silent Hill right, it's that man. I fucking trust him to do it well. And from at least that teaser we got, what was it, like over a year ago now at this point? I feel like it's in good hands. I feel like it's being done well. I need to see more of it. Just give me a little teaser. You know, hopefully Tokyo Game Show will get something with it. But
Sure.
I need to know what's going on with that. That's my other priority in life.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I feel like talking about from this, and then if there's other things you want to go into, feel free to let me know. But the other big thing for me was we got to see Ken Levine's new game,
Judas.
Judas, which, it's looking like a good-ass modern Bioshock game.
It took a while for that to finally show up. Good for them though. Yeah, it does look pretty good. I don't have attachment to Bioshock, so I can't really talk too much about it, but looks good. You don't care about Stellar Blade?
Don't care about what?
Stellar Blade?
No, I was excited when the game was first announced, and then now seeing it in its current state and with the gameplay, I don't know, it kind of looks fucking mid.
Fair.
Actually, there is one other thing.
Okay.
Legendary Tales actually looks like the first PS2 VR game that or the PS VR2 game that I'm like, that makes me want a VR.
Fair. Dragon's Dogma 2. I forget that's happening soon. Good for them.
Hell yeah.
Sonic X Shadow Generations. I do not like the last third of Sonic Generations. If they fix that shit, then great. Because I thought that game was fantastic, the first 2/3, and then I've at that point in my gaming life, I've never felt a game drop off harder than that last bit.
Also, fuck Sega for taking down the original version of the game everywhere.
Oh, is that what they did?
They took it down like 2 days ago. So everyone's like, oh, remake's incoming. But stop erasing shit like that. Fuck off.
Agreed. And then was that it? Until Dawn Remaster. David's playing that day one. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Can we stop remastering games that were last gen? It doesn't make sense to me.
Give us Bloodborne. If you're gonna fucking keep remastering or remaking shit, finally give us fucking 60 FPS Bloodborne.
Agreed. With that said, I think that's it. Yeah. Great podcast. Next week,
Oh yeah.
we're back again. And then later on next week, Tekken 8, baby. Damn, you're just scarfing that
It'll
out.
happen.
You having fun right there?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hey, chat. Things for hanging out. Stream. YouTube. Hey, people in the recording, you as well. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey, stream. Recording's done. Appreciate you guys. Man, I am not used to late recordings on podcasts anymore.
Yeah.
I can feel it right now. The fact that we used to start around now, no, fuck that.
Yeah, and then we would go to almost 3 a.m. sometimes when we had games gone by on top of it.
Yeah, that was the bullshit.
All because the one person that didn't have a job couldn't be bothered until later on.
DSP was in the podcast. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's so hard. I was telling the girlfriend about that. I'm like, yeah. Back in the olden days, the whole crew would be up hella late, just talking shit, playing games. I miss those days very much. Can't do it anymore. Or at least if I do, I need some prep because.
Yeah, I need I need at least a few days notice.
Yep, that's exactly how I feel. Because man, that shit is tough.
Probably gonna want to at least work from home the next day, or maybe take the day off.
Yeah, no, that's why extra life is also kind of tough. It's like I 24 hours. I can't do it. Yeah. Do I want to? No.
Yeah, but at least now I get company sponsored fucking time for that.
Hell
which is
yeah.
great.
Welcome to adulting. Anyway, stream much appreciated. You guys take care. Kels, shouts to you. Game's gone by soon.